I've bought a normal house to live in, a crumbling wreck at auction, and a rental flat. And every one of them taught me something different about money, risk, and strategy. If you've ever thought about buying a property but don't know where to start, this is your friendly accountant-approved tour of 3 real property paths I've taken. And now you might learn something from them. I'm Red, qualified accountant and a finance nerd with a soft spot for spreadsheets and bricks and mortar. In this video, I'll walk you through 3 types of properties I've bought. A home to live in, a derelict house bought at auction, a buy-to-let flat for income. We'll talk funding, purpose, strategy, and what I'd do differently, so you can start thinking more clearly about your own goals, whether you're a future landlord, DIY renovator, or just trying to get on the ladder. Property 1, residential home, your own home. Let's start with the most familiar one, your own home. The one you live in, decorate, and let's be honest, obsess over on Pinterest. Buying a residential home is emotional and practical. It's also the only property where your mortgage repayments are not tax deductible. Why? Because it's not generating income. It's a personal asset, not a business one. Let's discuss funding. Standard residential mortgage usually comes with the best rates. In the UK, there are some schemes that help first-time buyers with buying their first home. They also usually want a smaller deposit. That being said, the average deposit needed is typically 10 to 20% of the home report value. Purpose? Security, lifestyle, and long-term capital growth. Costs? Unfortunately, higher deposit is often needed if you're self-employed. This property is not income generating unless you do a rent-a-room scheme. Upkeep and maintenance is all on you, and please remember things like stamp duty and solicitor's fees. Accountant's take? It's a wealth builder over time, but don't rely on it as your retirement plan. Property 2, derelict auction house, the wild card. I bought a derelict house at auction, and yes, it was as intense as it sounds. Buying at auction is fast-paced, cash-heavy, and definitely not for the faint-hearted. But if you do it right, it can be incredibly rewarding. Key points to share. Funding. This type of purchase often requires bridging finance or full cash. Traditional mortgages are usually not allowed or possible. The reason for that is the short completion time usually has to be done within 30 days, which many mortgages just don't do. Purpose, renovate and flip or add to rental portfolio. Risks, many. No mortgage valuation, legal pack surprises, tight timelines, and very often you can't even view the property before you buy it. And let's face it, there's probably more wrong with it than you initially think. Otherwise it wouldn't be sold at auction. Benefits, below market value, control over improvements, fast equity. Costs, do not forget the auction house costs. These are very often high, by which I mean sometimes even 3% of the property value plus VAT, and subject to minimum fee as well. To give you an example, if you buy a property for £100,000, the auction house fee is £3,000 plus VAT. But if you buy a property for £50,000, the auction house fee can still be £3,000 plus VAT, if that's the minimum buyer's premium. And that's before you get to solicitors and stamp duty bill. Accountant take? Don't buy at auction with blind optimism. Get your numbers airtight first. Budget for worst-case scenarios, not best-case dreams. Property 3, buy-to-let flat, the rental income. Finally, the calm-ish long game. I bought a buy-to-let flat with the goal of generating rental income, and it's been a great way to build wealth while helping provide housing. Key points to share? Funding. Buy-to-let mortgage. This mortgage is a great tool for investors. It does require a higher deposit and maybe ever so slightly higher interest. Purpose. This type of property means monthly cash flow, long-term capital growth, and portfolio building. It can be a very convenient source of passive income if done right. The pros? Short-term, steady income, potential tax advantages via limited company, a video on this coming soon, and long-term retirement plan. The cons? Legal obligations, repairs, void periods, Section 24 if held personally. Accountant's take, if you treat it like a business, not a hobby, you can make it work. But you've got to run the numbers like a CFO, not just a hopeful landlord. So in summary, which one might be right for you? That depends on your goals. Want a stability and a base? Your own home might be the start. Love a challenge and some DIY? Auction can open doors if you're brave, budget savvy, and know how to use power tools. Want long-term income? A rental flat can do the job if you treat it like business. I'll be diving into each of these property types in more detail in future videos, including how I funded them, the mortgage myths that nearly tripped me up, and how to avoid common tax mistakes. If you're into smart, calm conversations about money, property, and business, this is the channel for you. Hit a subscribe, leave a comment if you've got questions, and I'll see you in the next video.